Hold on, let me just check. Am I actually broadcasting to the right place? Yes, it looks like I am. Alright, well, you know what I said to myself earlier? That I was gonna figure out some of the menus, because I've made a change in this game. First of all, I have no pieces, but for one thing, there are sound effects now, and I think they're extremely loud, especially for the viewers. I've tried to turn it down a bit. But essentially, the first thing you need to do after you add the sound effects is add the mute button. So I'm gonna try making an options menu right here. It's already, hold on. It is, wait, these are not my actual buttons. Why do I still have those? Why is it here? You see, you should probably name buttons as buttons, not games, because arguably the options menu is not a game. Neither is the quit button. But, so we have a handle on the options menu, and we're gonna need to create a new options menu. So I'm gonna do something like this. Now this doesn't exist yet because I haven't made it. So another thing we're gonna do is make it, and I'm gonna make it based on a control, and I'm gonna save it in here. So now we have the options menu. It does exist now. Right, so this is just going to cover the whole screen. One of the things I do want to do is have it kind of darken the screen when it appears. It's going to need a script at some point. Hold on, why is this wire is in the way? Actually, everything is in the way. Oh god, I should have tidied my desk before I started doing it. Alright, whatever. That'll do. Okay. So, right, how am I going to do this? It's a good question. See, I am kind of thinking, I don't know, should I use a panel? Or a UI patch or something like that? Now, I do not want it to shrink. No, it's fine now. Not sure how big to make it. Something like this. How big is that? Might be okay. I don't know how many options we're gonna have. So I might do this. Like, this is alright. And I think I'll have a nice thing up here that just says options. The thing is, I don't know, do I want to put this in the background or just, because I could give it a little animation even. Might be nice. A little bit of animation. I'll just say options. And we're going to be setting the font, of course. I know exactly which font I want. One annoying thing that Godot is doing is not... Actually, you know what would be really good with this? Ugh, my middle mouse button does not work. Okay. What would be really good with this is that thing. So how did I do that? A little bit of rainbow text. I think it is this. It's just the same text, with this shader, but a teeny bit bigger. Not bigger than this, of course, but bigger than the... So I think it is literally like 64 to even less than that, to be honest. Scale isn't changed, is it? No. No, it's just enormous. Right, it's got an outline, that's why. That'll do. That'll do. And I gotta remember, it's not gonna be on a grey background. Actually, something I do have to think about though, is that perhaps I want this thing to have an outline. Let's give this guy an outline of, let's say, 16. Maybe this one is gonna be a little less than that. That looks decent. So just a little bit, a little tiny bit, and that is going to be color shifting as well. Now I actually might make this a little bigger. That's quite a lot bigger. But I want it to be nice and visible. Say right here. Because you have options. You gotta have options, you know? Right. And again, you gotta remember, it's not gonna be on a grey background. It's gonna have stuff behind it. And I think what I want to do is I want to have this header sort of follow the background panel a little bit. I think that's gonna look really nice. But we gotta figure out what this is gonna look like. So I'm gonna do the same thing I do pretty much every time I have a yeah, that is right, isn't it? Actually, I'll just go straight for the patch. The same thing I do every time I have one of these is I make a little menu to the left and I have the actual stuff in the body. So what's navigation? Why not? It'll be like a little, you have your general audio, general video, audio. That's pretty much all you need, and then the quit, yeah. So pretty much exactly what I did in Ultrafun, to be honest. And I suppose I'll use a tab container because it does make some things a little bit easier. Although I do not want it to display any tabs. I may end up just putting my own logic in, but we'll see how this goes first. Yeah, look at that. It has a... Should I just put my own logic in? Because it wouldn't be that difficult. I'll just put a control and I'll call it settings. And what this one is going to do is it's just going to have all of the settings in all the different tabs. That's how big it is. Looks good to me. Just going to set it like that, and we're going to do the same thing. Oops. Here. So this one is going to be quite easy because we just have some items. Oops. Frankly, again, we could hard code all of this. There's no particular reason to be using a VBox. Unless I want to use a VBox, and maybe I do. Maybe I do. I'm not sure. Do I want to use a VBox? Perhaps. Yeah, I'm not using a V-box. That's overkill. I will just have some buttons, because really that's all you need. So we're going to have general. I'm going to say general. Also going to give that a font of some kind. Not sure what font. Probably this. One thing I gotta figure out is how to disable, how to change the default whatchamacallit, default file extension in that little selector thingy, because it's really not doing it for me that it defaults to the resource files. I want to be picking up actual files, you know. Alright, it's probably good enough. Looks okay. And I can change the font if I need to. Actually, something the V-box would be good for is just spacing them out properly. Maybe I will put them in a V-box, who knows. General video audio and exit. Now here's something, because I'm gonna essentially be putting different options if it's in the main menu or the in-game, because in-game I want there to be an option to abandon the world and go back to the main menu, and obviously on the main menu there's got to be a quit to desktop button. Does quit to desktop fit? Not quite. Quit. Can I do quit desktop? Quit game? I could just not put a quit button in the options menu, that's enough. Let's see. We shall see. Perhaps I just want this to be completely different anyway. I want that one to be down there, really. How's that looking? I think something up here, really. I kind of want to put these into a V-box. The V-box is calling me. I don't know what to say. I can't help myself. I gotta stick them in a V-box. There we are. Now I'm happy. Look at that. Gorgeous. And we need a little icon in the top left. I was kind of thinking I wanted hold on a second. How is this possible? Did I just undo that? I did not. Alright. That was weird. Okay. Bit more separation. Not too much, but enough. Okay. How are we looking? Not awful. Not terrible. Not too bad. I want to put something up here, but I don't know what. So I am just going to try something out. We're going to do one of these. Stick them up here. Make a box, because, you know, you gotta have a box. How big is this now? This is X. Oh. If I make it an actual square, it's gonna be huge. I need to make this slightly not a square. I think. I can make it completely not a square. If I put it like this. Okay. Perhaps I should... I want to put a little icon up here, so maybe I should even darken it slightly. Well, that looks strange because it's overlapping. This a little bit. Now, how does that look? Still looks a bit strange. Not convinced. This needs to come down. Just like that. Now I can make this a little bigger. I think 180 was probably good. And what am I going to put inside here? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Well, I can't anchor that, so I'm going to make this a texture rect instead. We're going to stick it in the middle. Although, if I use the animated sprite, I could do something like that, but there's no point. Let's stick a knight in here. Why not? Feels like a place where a knight would be, doesn't it? And we are also going to add a sprite, of course. And this one is gonna have that kind of glowy thing. And for some reason, yeah, I might put this one as a texture vector too, because then I can center it real easy. It's all about the control nodes, gotta tell you. So we'll blow this up a little bit. And we're gonna center it again. And actually something a bit important is I can go here and I can do clip contents. Glue. Actually, not going to do show behind parent. I am literally just going to place it there, because if I put a different sprite in, I can easy enough just do that. Now how are we looking? This is an options menu, remember. That looks good. That looks fine. I'm happy with that. We got options. I'm liking it. And I have the option to inhale my coffee, because sometimes you just gotta do that. So that one I'm gonna call button, or I'm gonna call it nav buttons. And we can pretty much just do something like this. So we're gonna do selected tab equals general. It can also be video or audio. And then in here, I think we're gonna have, you know what? It would be tidy to do it this way. Just like that. So I'm gonna get settings here, we have tabs, and then we're gonna do general. Then we're gonna do video, oops. Then we're gonna do audio. So now what we can do is, for tab in tabs, if tab.name is our selected tab, tab.modulate, yeah, that is right, isn't it? You have modulate, don't you? Should do, it's still derived from a canvas item. Is tab.modulate.linear, I should probably do it this way, shouldn't I? To, actually I'll only love the alpha. Tab.modulate.alpha to, and actually, one if tab name is selected, else 0.0, and then we're going to do 1 because apparently you're not supposed to use delta in lerps or something like that. But I'm not entirely sure what the case is with that. So there we go. So that'll pretty much do it, I think. Yeah, okay, great. So now, when general is pressed, bada bing, bada boom. One thing we're going to want to do as well is disable the mouse on all of the others, because I do not want to be able to click on stuff by accident, but we're going to have a look at that in a second. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. And we're going to have something like date, update, mouse settings, and we're going to do 4 in, this will be super simple, I think. I think we can, it's called mouse filter. So if tab.name is equal to selected tab, I think tab.mouse filter, hold on. Let's have a look on the internet. Mouse filter. Yep, mouse filter. There we go. Mouse filter. Well, I just discovered that my microphone was unplugged at some point. I don't know when, I don't know why, I don't know how, but I've just been talking to myself for ages, probably. Anyway, here we are. Works now, I think. Keep an eye on that little red light. So I'm not sure what to put in general, I was just saying. I probably don't need anything in general. In video, I will put the full screen button on. Something like this. Actually, I can put headers. I can still put headers on each of these. So I think it's going to be, well, it's going to be a label. I'm going to say general course, we're going to have a new font for that. I know exactly which font. I just like this font, to be honest. This Bird Go font. It is so good. You gotta love it. Channel. There we go. Just like that. And that'll do. Doesn't need to be anything special. I am literally going to copy this into each of these. This one's going to say video. And then this one is going to say audio. General, video, audio. Perfect. Just like that. So there isn't really anything to put in general right now. But I will be putting stuff in video. As a matter of fact, I shall be putting the full screen settings. So it's going to be full screen on, because I already have the data structure for the full screen. I just need to toggle it. So, I don't know, is that alright? Just as it is. And again, this is a good test to see. Up here, I'm not accidentally clicking this, but I can click it. Aha, interesting. I seem to still be able to click it. No, there's no inherit, really, is there? Shoot. Blah. I might have to just recursively set the mouse settings. All nodes recursively. Godo. Oh, damn. Oh, this Reddit thread is from 9 years ago and it says that it cannot be done. Shoot. Maybe it's not clickable. I mean, gotta wonder if I actually connect this up. Click. Well, actually, I can put the actual function in, which is something like full screen. Yup. So in fact, I would rather have this in its own function called toggle full screen, because I can grab all of that. And that. There we are. Easy peasy, and that will hopefully be saved. Hopefully, I mean, it may not be. You never know. Tricky. I may just have to put a manual reference to this button if this doesn't work. Anyway, save stop toggle, full screen. And we're gonna see if this works. This works? No, we can click it through the tabs. Okay, that's not what I wanted then. So this doesn't do a damn thing. That doesn't do anything at all. That's useless. What I would like to do is change the mouse filter on this node here. So I'm just going to do, I could do a whole list. I got to check it against a particular this is essentially going to be hard coded. If selected selected tab is equal to video. I mean, does this even work? Maybe I shouldn't even be using the mouse filter. Who knows, really? Oh, that works. And then in any of these, I cannot click on it. There we go, this works fine. I'll just have to hard code all of this. You'll love to see it. You don't love to see it at all. Update UI. Nothing, you can't go wrong with a simple update UI function. And again, it's going to be super simple because it's literally, I can just set the text, it's going to be full screen, and then it's going to be on if, say, full screen else off. That should be it. On, off. Perfect. Maybe I'll make that more sophisticated in the future, but I'm going to be honest, I doubt it. I do not think I'm going to be doing that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, there's a full screen option. I'll hold off on the audio settings for a minute. I'm going to breathe for a second. Still have some coffee. It's 5 o'clock. It's after 5 o'clock. I've been busy all day. Hold on. I'm moving this a bit because I'm dropping stuff. And nobody's watching my live stream. How terrible and miserable is that? And despairing is that? No, it's fine. It's fine. He forgives you. Right. So we got two big parts here. Options menu is pretty much built. I'm going to attach that quit button for a minute. This one, it's called quit. Maybe I should rename that actually. Exit. So it doesn't seem like you're quitting the whole game. Because you wouldn't do something like that. You wouldn't ever quit this game. And it's going to be simple because, in fact, I am going to have an animation player. I'm going to play an animation called Disappear. This is how I do it every time. And if you can figure out how to press that button twice, more power to you. So animation finished. If anim name equals disappear, just get out of here. That'll do. Easy peasy. Right. So now we actually need to make an animation called disappear. And I find that in fact the best thing to do is to make the appear animation first. However, I do want to keep the positions of these as they are, so I'm going to get the position, do not create a reset track, get the position, do not create that reset track. Now here I can actually move these as much as I like. Do not create the reset. Actually, I could have done it this way in the first place, but it doesn't matter. Just a bit of time saving. Very good, very good. So now is the part that's going to take some figuring out. I want both of these to be up here. So bada boom. And then why did that one suddenly move? I have no idea. Doesn't matter, that shouldn't have happened. There we are. So this is what it's doing. It'll autoplay that. And likewise, we just want both of these to be up out of the way, so I guess I'll do it this way. I'll do it this way. Now, of course, I'm not going to leave it like this, so we need a little bit of bounce. We want it to come rushing in. kind of just a little bit. I want this one to come rushing in, but a little bit slower. There we are. That's what I'm talking about. And similarly, we want basically the exact same thing, except this time we want this one to go rushing away. This one to be a little bit slower. Perfect. I think that's going to look pretty decent. Perfect. That looks good. I like it. And the very last thing is that I would like a giant box, which for one thing is going to protect the background, so you're not clicking on random stuff. But also it's going to create a little bit of a tint on everything. So we have it like this. It's going to start off this way, and it's going to get a little bit darker. Now I don't know how dark it needs to be, so I'm going to go for 105. Likewise, we're going to go from. You already have a reset value. What the hell are you talking about? Do not create a reset track. You don't need one. So it's going to go. Do not create a reset. You have a reset track. What are you on about? Yeah, for that property. Whatever, doesn't matter. So there we go. 105. Alright. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. Again, grey background is not the best for this, but it'll give an idea. It's a little bit too slow on the drawback, so we can do that. I want it to... even here it comes to a bit of an abrupt stop, so let's have a look. I think this will do it, to be honest. That'll do. So when we have the main menu, I would like this options menu to be instantiated, and I want to add child options menu. Actually, I have a canvas layer. I'll stick it in there, and it should pretty much be fine, just like that. I need to add some signals. There we go. Can't be clicking on nothing. Seems a little laggy, actually. A bit weird. Anyway, no, that'll do. That'll do. That's good. Now this is the point when the game actually starts to feel like a game, because you really cannot have a game without an options menu. I have loads of stuff open that I do not need open. I'll need to open these again at some point, but that's fine because we're focused. We are locked in. Thinking I might see about making this a little bit darker. So if I put it to 150, I think that's going to be quite dark. But it might be better. And besides, it's an anagram. It's an anagram of the one that I came up with by accident. You can't go wrong with an anagram. There we are. That's looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. That looks good. Essentially, I'm procrastinating on the thing that I really have to do, which is to, maybe I should make it darker. What are we thinking? No, it'll do. But what would it look like, you know? Maybe I want it to be 200. Now, 200 is going to be practically black, because it only goes up to... It only goes up to, 255, doesn't it? I was thinking at first I'd do... It's going to be almost black, but because the contrast in the background is so high, that's too dark. Yeah, I was thinking that. Right, should be back to how it was. That should be 150. I just wanted to see what it looked like. That's still like that. Perfect. Actually, hold on a second. Why is it... Yeah, I clicked the wrong thing. Yeah, I was wondering, why is it looking sort of almost a bit laggy on the uptake? It might just be my eyes, or maybe it's the recording software. I think it looks okay. And it doesn't have to win an award. It's an options menu. You need it. You have it when you need it. And it's a good options menu. So, one of the things I was saying is that when you get audio, when you make audio, the first thing you're going to want to do is put in a mute button, because otherwise it'll drive you crazy when you're trying to play test. You'll be having sound effects in your brain. It'll be horrible. You want some way to be able to shut all that out. I do have code for this. I do have code that does this. I need some new variables in my save data. Take a breather for a second. Because I've been working quick, you know. Been working right quick. Yeah, you know what? You know what? I'll take a little break. I'll take a little break because, you know, what's the sense in working so hard that I can't keep up and talking so much? My throat hurts. I don't talk this much usually. Anyway, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Well, you know what? You know what? I'll do the audio section on my own. I'll finish it off offline because, you know, I gotta keep speaking and my throat just isn't having it. And I want to go lay down, I'm gonna be honest. But, yeah. Pretty much nobody watched this, but I suppose you could watch the archived video. If you did and you watched the archived video, thank you. And hello. And yeah.